And now, Giants Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day.
I haven't heard this in a while.
From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes!
Hey, Glenn. Hello.
Eric and Glenn, breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
My buddy.
Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. Hey, we got a win, guys. Let's do the post game. Giants versus Diamondbacks in Arizona. Giants were able to pull out a win in 10 innings. They beat the Diamondbacks 6-5. Man, hey, Arizona made it interesting there at the end. Doval got a little bit slider happy again. Don't know why Glenn, I don't know why he doesn't like throwing that fastball. It's a freaking good one, but he hung one. Marte didn't miss it, and I about lost my shit. Lost my shit. Look at you throwing out the luck. Nah, not today. Not today. I wouldn't say it was luck today.
You don't think Marte got a little lucky? I don't know.
No, he crushed that one. That was a hanging slider.
Okay,
a hanging slider.
Then the Giants got lucky. That's it.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. I was going to lose my shit because Patrick Bailey, remember they called it a foul ball? That wasn't a foul ball. He missed that catch, and it was strike 3. And I'm like, are you shitting me? We're in the extra innings, and you can't catch a freaking ball almost coming right down the middle of the plate. I almost lost it, dude. I almost lost it, but Giants are able to come through in the top of the 10th, and the D-backs were not. So
Your superstar catcher, Eric. Superstar catcher.
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, he dropped it. 100%. He dropped it. And I was about ready to freaking lose my shit. That close.
I thought that was another game. You notice our pitching always dies around the 5th inning, Eric?
Yeah, there's an issue there. The young guys.
Always. 5th inning.
Hey, what did I say yesterday? I think Birdsong should be a bullpen guy. I think he should be a bullpen guy. He comes out and look, when Birdsong comes out, he's got 1 to possibly 3 innings where he's just lights out. And then after that, he loses command for whatever reason. So, you know what? Put him in a bullpen. Look, every pitcher who's in the bullpen at one time or another was what? A starter. They couldn't make it as a starter. So guess what? You moved to the bullpen. And there's nothing wrong with that because you need bullpen arms. So maybe that is the future for Birdsong. Roop, again, he went 4 innings and then he lost it. Look, I'll tell you what, man, when they loaded the bases with no outs, Glenn, I thought it was going to be over. Eric Miller comes in, the last guy I expected to see come in. But then again, you really don't want to go to Rodriguez because it's early in the game. But he only allowed 1 run. So, hey, what'd you think overall of the game?
I thought it was over before the first pitch. I looked at the lineup going into the game, and I went, it's AAA lineup, Eric. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom of that lineup. Matos, Bailey, Fitzgerald, Wisely, and Dominic Smith come in. He was useless. Dude. July is not going to be a good month, dude.
We'll see.
We'll probably play about 9 games under 500 the month of July.
We shall see. It's about to play out because we're July 2nd now. So let's see how this is going to play out. All right, let's get into this.
Now, today's Giants in Review on Giant Sports Talk Live.
And there we go. Final score, Giants 6, Arizona 5. San Francisco's now 46-41. Arizona 43-43. Giants scored 6 runs on 10 hits. It's nice to see. When's the last time we've seen freaking 6 runs in a game? How about that? Arizona, 5 runs on 11 hits. Got a little bit weird there in the 9th. Doval gets the win. He blows the save, but he gets the win. There you go. He is now 4-2 on the season. Miller gets the loss because the Giants were able to score. How about that? Lineup. Yastrzemski led off, had 1 hit, 1 RBI, and a run scored. It's okay. It's okay. Adames, 1 for 4 with 1 walk. He was on base twice. Devers, 1 for 5 with 1 RBI, 2 strikeouts. Flores was 0-4, but he did score a run because he drew a walk. And boy, he was chucking around the base paths. He was on first base when Jung Hoo Lee hit the triple. And man, did you see him coming around third base? Huffing and chuffing.
Huffing and puffing, isn't he?
Hey, that's okay, though. Hey, he scored the run. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Get some oxygen in the dugout, right? Jung Hoo Lee had a game today. 3 hits, 1 RBI, 2 runs scored. That was good to see Jung Hoo Lee break through, man. I'm tired of saying 4-2-3. Today, he had a triple and he had a freaking double. So let's go, man. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Maybe he's starting to break out of it. We'll see. Again, it's 1 game. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to shit on him for having a 3-hit game. I'm not going to do that. Matos was 0-4, also drew a walk and had a run scored. Ramos came in with a key hit, pinch hit, I should say, in the 9th inning. Yeah, it was the 9th inning, right? Or no, 10th inning. It was the 10th inning, right? If I'm not mistaken, something like that. Bailey had 1 hit with 2 RBIs. That was a key hit. Good on Bailey. Fitzgerald 0-4. Smith with a pinch hit. And then Wisely had a 2-hit game. Good for him. Had a run scored and an RBI. Giants are 4 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Again, not exactly getting it done with runners in scoring position. The error was not a big deal because Fitzgerald, he made a fantastic fielding. He tried to get it over to the first base and he just winged it. But what are you going to do? Again, here we go. This is a little bit more important. Hey, Jesus, I see you. Just give me a minute here while I go through the box. Roop only goes 4, as you said. Yesterday, how long did Birdsong go? 4 innings, if I'm not mistaken. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not a very good performance. He only allowed 2, but it was in 4 innings. And he walked 4 and he struck out 4. So that 4th inning really did him in, to be honest with you. He was doing fairly good before then, but hey, I don't know, man. Maybe they just can't go to distance. I don't know. It's going to be more to find out. Eric Miller again came in huge outing. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. That was huge. Bivens came in, gave up a hit, had 2 strikeouts. Rodriguez came in, gave up a hit, also walked a guy and had a strikeout. Tyler Rogers came in, gave up 2 hits and a run. Tyler, again, that's the 2nd outing in a row where he was a little bit weird. Hopefully he can get that under control because the Giants are going to need him. And then Doval, he pitches 2 innings, but guess what? That means he is not going to be available tomorrow. So who is going to be the closer tomorrow if the Giants need one? As Lou mentioned, I hope it ain't freaking Ryan Walker.
No, it'll be your buddy, Lucchese.
Oh no! It's gonna be interesting. Anyways, the Giants come out with a win, so that's what's important, right? They had to get off the schneid, as they say. And the Giants put up 6 runs. In more times than not, if the Giants score 6 runs, it's going to be a win, usually. So it was good to see them come out and to have a little bit life in the lineup. If for once the lineup picked up the pitching, because this whole season it's been the pitching picking up the lineup. So it was nice to see.
There you go.
Jesus, $2 already donated. Thank you, Jesus. Not convinced Fitzgerald is the second baseman. That's fair. They may wind up, and to be honest with you, I still think it's going to be Schmidt the rest of the way out when he comes back. I guess he got a cortisone shot today there, Glenn. for his little bone bruise that he has in his hand.
Yeah. How long is he going to be out?
I don't. Well, he went on to IL. I can't remember. I'm sure they retroactive it, so I'm guessing he's probably going to be out for another 5 days, something like that. Sounds like Chapman was had some batting practice today. It's going to be interesting to see when he's going to come back. I'm guessing it's going to be sooner rather than later. So we'll see what happens. Schmidt is coming back Sunday. Is that what they're saying? Okay. Well, there you go.
I don't know with the hand injury, Eric. I don't know.
Bone bruise. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what's all about.
Don't mess with the hand.
I hear you. Exactly. Same. Hey, it's unique because what? You got two third basemen for the Giants who both have hand injuries. One of them, of course, is going to be the second baseman. The other one's your third baseman. So let's see what happens.
And you got 3 third basemen who are not able to play. So
yeah, I know. And that's why you got Wilmer Flores out there playing third base at times. But
nothing wrong with that.
Okay, I tell you what, so let's talk about this a little bit. With Chapman and Schmidt coming back, right? Do you feel better with them coming back? I mean, they may not come out of the gates, but you're feeling better, right? The team is going to be better overall when both Schmidt and Chapman are back in the lineup. It links in the lineup, right?
Of course, it's better than what we've got now.
Yeah,
it's kind of a cast of misfits. We're trying to plug the dam, Eric.
We are. Yes, that is correct.
I mean, even I'm looking at our bench now, Eric. Like you brought Dominic Smith in today. Dominic he's okay, but you're not going to win championships with these guys on your roster, Eric. I'm lucky to make the playoffs with this kind of a roster.
So here we go. Let's talk about this. So with Chapman and Schmidt coming back and the Giants adding a bat, how do you feel about the team? Just the lineup, not talking about the pitching, as the lineup. If with Chapman, I'm not going to say if, with Chapman and Schmidt coming back, and if they add a significant bat, do you feel better about the chances of the San Francisco Giants?
I think they get another 4 or 5 wins in the season. I don't think it's going to be this, they're still not going to win 99 games, Eric.
Okay. No, I don't think so. But do you think their playoff chances are greatly improved, I would think, right?
Oh, I still say they're not making the playoffs. They're not making the postseason.
You don't think they're making a postseason with an addition to that?
A little more interesting, but they won't make the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Interesting. What do you think? Wait, hold on. Let me see. Where is it at? Oh,
you do? You think they make the playoffs? You're buying your tickets, are you?
I think they have a good chance of making the playoffs. With Chapman and Schmidt, if they're coming back and they're producing, I'm not saying above expectations, but if they're playing at expectations and then you add a bat, I think the Giants are in a good position.
Oh, if they add a bat. Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, add a bat. They have to add a. If they don't add a bat, then it's a bit different. I think it's a bit different. But if you add a bat, I think the Giants are going to be. I think the Giants are going to be in a good position. Again, if they suffer another significant injury somewhere, well, then hey, now we're talking. I'm just saying, if these guys, I don't want Tommy Pham. Thank you for the $2, Jesus, but I don't want Tommy Pham.
I think Dan wants Tommy Pham.
No, I don't want Tommy Pham. Have you seen his numbers?
I don't want Tommy Pham.
His numbers are pretty bad this year. I understand he's one of their guys that you can pick up. How about freaking Ramon Laureano? That guy's actually playing. You're not going to get Tucker. No. That's trade deadline. No. Greg. Not at the trade deadline. We're talking trade deadline. We're not talking offseason. Trade deadline. I don't want Tommy Pham. I'd rather, again, Ramon Laureano. Hell, Ryan O'Hearn. I know that guy's been talked about. I'm sure a lot of teams are going to be in on him. But, hey, let's talk about this. Did you see this on Twitter, Glenn? I know a lot of people are going to talk about it. And I already saw Marcus mention it. What do you make about this? Smoke and mirrors? Or are you going to take him at his word? Zach Manasian, if I pronounce his name incorrectly, I'm sorry, revealed the Giants will be very active ahead of this month's MLB trade deadline. What do you make of it?
Eric, he was working for the San Francisco Giants the last couple of years, and I think that same, see that quote? Very active? I think they used the exact, is this a copy and a paste? You copy and pasting, because I think that was the same phrase and same text that was thrown around the last couple of years. Eric, we're going to be very active. And then
what does that mean, though? Okay, let's break it down. What does very active mean?
Taking a shit, maybe.
What does very active? No, honestly, what does very active mean? Does it mean they're going to sign anybody? No.
Maybe actively looking, pursuing. They always seem to actively pursue.
Look, let's not make it what it isn't, right? Because they're saying they're going to be very active. In other words, they're going to go out there and they're going to try. And that's all you can do, right? All you can do is try. Now, as a San Francisco Giants fan, do I want to see more than being very active? Of course I do. Of course I want to see actual fruitation. And when I mean by fruitation, I'm not talking about an AJ Pollock. I'm not talking about a Mark Canna. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone significant, both an arm and a bat. We'll see. Again, let's see how it goes. What do you think they're going to come out and say? We're going to come out here and we ain't doing a damn thing. They're not going to say that, right? I mean, so you got to take it kind of for what it's worth. They're announcing it to the press. Of course, it's to a certain extent, it's PR, right? To a certain extent.
Don't get caught up in the hype either, Eric.
No.
What could happen is exactly what you started this conversation with. Tommy Pham. Oh boy, we're making
correct. That's exactly 100%. They're not saying, he's not coming out and saying we're going to make a big splash. They've already made the big splash. We'll
trade for a third string catcher, Eric, and we'll take a gamble on them. That's the kind of moves that they make. And all I'm saying is, you know what? I'm kind of crusty tonight. I'm very tired tonight. Unless I always have to see. I have to see things to believe things, Eric. And what if other trade deadlines? They got the hype going. And what was the last year? Farhan kind of threw his hands in the air. He goes, "Well, I'm giving the keys to Bob Melvin. He can make the fucking deals." He's got the keys to the car. Like who's calling the shots over there, Eric? Well, this year better be different, or they got no shot at the postseason.
That was absolutely dumb.
What? I
thought no. Talking about the keys. Throwing the keys to freaking.
Well, that's what he said. Yeah.
It was dumb.
That was what we covered. I couldn't believe that on our trade deadline show. We broke that. Remember, Eric? The keys to the car.
Oh my god!
And that
the best rotation in baseball. Oh my god, dude! That pissed me off. Pissed me off. That was criminal. That was criminal.
You beat me by that much. I knew it. I knew with a smile. I knew where you were going. Best.
Kershaw, $2. Thank you, sir. Says let's make a lineup position with Chap Casey. Okay, first off, I hate to break this news to you, but when Schmidt comes back, Matos will not be with the team. I don't think so. I don't think Matos will not be, or maybe he stays, or maybe with both Chapman and Casey coming back, Matos is not going to be long for the roster. He's going to be optioned back down. That's just, they don't have room. They don't have room. So there's no point. He's kind of a guy just filling in until some other guys start coming back. Because remember, we got a bunch of guys that are on the IL. All of them infielders. Koss, Chapman, and Schmidt. So,
and we don't.
Unfortunately, I just think that Matos will not.
We don't have.
Could be wrong. Could be wrong, but I don't think he's going to be playing a big part. He is right now because they need him. But what are you going to do? Rob donates $2. Thank you, Rob. If we buy, not recommended. I want Kyle Finnegan. Ooh, I know who you're talking about. Isn't that the closer for Washington? Right? Isn't Kyle? I think Kyle is the closer for the Washington Nationals. Yeah. And it says we also need a starting pitcher. But everyone, yeah, I know. We do need a starting pitcher. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wouldn't be opposed to Kyle Finnegan. It would be nice to have another bullpen arm. But the Giants need a starter in a bad way. Transition Birdsong to the bullpen. If you put Birdsong to the bullpen and then you go get a starting pitcher, that kind of solves some problems. Because you could have Roop as your fifth starter. That's okay. But we need I think we need a starter, man. Oh yeah, did you see that today? Real quick, Kevin Pillar, the guy you talked about last year, announced his retirement.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah, he even last year you were talking about him. He was still out there freaking catching the ball, hitting the ball. He had a good year last year.
The season. He was doing well in Texas, man. A numbers game, and he just said enough stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
He was swiping bags, hitting for average. Dude, I still say he could play. There's a guy who could help you, Eric.
Yeah.
There's a bench player for a winning team. I'm telling you. But anyway, you know what? He's retiring. So be it.
And matter of fact, Brooke, he's chiming in, says Pillar thought he'd be better than Johnson. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you talked about maybe him getting he was with the Giants. Maybe he just doesn't want to come back. I would not take Severino. Greg, I would not touch Severino. The guy has got a bad attitude. And look, there's a lot of guys, I guess, that have a bad attitude playing for the A's right now. But I don't know, man. I think I'll pass. I'd rather go get somebody else. Let someone else go get Severino. No, I'll pass. Pass on Severino. I don't know who they could get. It's going to be interesting to see who the Giants are going to be able to get as far as a starting pitcher. It says, what's up, Crisis? Heard that the Padres are linked to trying to trade for Marcell Ozuna. All right, there you go. I don't think the Giants would sign an Ozuna, to be honest with you.
Heard that as well.
What, the Padres one?
Yep.
That's okay. We could get somebody else. We don't need Ozuna, to be honest with you. Would it be nice? Sure. But if you look at his splits, he rakes in Atlanta, as you would expect, right? It's not exactly a pitcher's ballpark in Atlanta. Not a gamer. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. He's our resident San Diego Padres, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Popped in during the playoffs last year. How you doing, man? Are you nervous about your Padres at all? You know who is nervous? Where is Armand? Armand and our good buddy Mike. No, Mark. Where is Mark and Armand? I need to talk to them. The New York Mets.
I think Mark is recovering from the
Mets are not
Fanatics Fan Fest last weekend. He was over there, I'm sure.
Oh, was he?
Fanatics Fest, yeah.
So if I see them, I'm gonna have to give them a talking to, see what's up. Yeah, I feel they're underwhelming. The hot start was saving them. Yeah, that's kind of same thing with the Giants there. Rothberg, if you had a chance to add a pitcher or a batter, oof.
I think at that point it doesn't matter. You're not going to win with one or the other. You need both.
You have to get both, right? That's a great point, Glenn. There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, Muncy. Did you see that Muncy injury?
Yes.
Looks like he's probably going to be out for a while. That looked pretty damn ugly.
And then the Dodgers, they scored 3-4 in the ninth, and
Hey, that's
they
what
walked
they do.
it off. Oh my God!
Charlie Morton. I don't know about Charlie Morton.
Doing what good.
I don't know about Charlie Morton. I don't know who they could get as far as an arm. I don't know, man. We'll talk more about it. Again, it's going to all be determined on who's selling and who's buying. Peace sales. But who's buying? That's one of your favorite, right? From Megadeth? Peace sales.
No way, buddy. I'd be the first in line. I'll tell you, Eric, there might. You want me to go out on a limb early? This is my early prognostication.
What?
Trade deadline. I think it's going to be a slow trade. You remember last year was slow? I think it's going to be extremely slow.
Think so?
I think this year is just going to be too many teams that are going to hold on to their players, and there's not enough depth, as we talked about a few weeks ago. Teams that aren't going to make it, it's very few, like the Avatar, by the way, like that SF. It's good.
Are you talking? You mean Edward? I think it's Edward, right? Not Edwin. I think it's Edward Cabrera. Are you talking about the Miami Marlins pitcher? Is that who you're talking about? Seth Lugo. You know who brought up Seth Lugo? Marty brought up Seth Lugo. He might be an arm you could go out there and get. He's a lefty. But Edward Cabrera, yes, he has got some nasty stuff. The Giants faced him, and he absolutely destroyed him. I would have.
The Braves need Schwellen back as well.
They did?
They got nobody left.
Oh, they're not gonna. They're gonna trade. They're gonna sell. I'm sorry. They're gonna be sellers.
They just got
they're gonna be sellers, man.
Back.
They're gonna be sellers. They've lost Sale. They lost Sale, and they've lost Schwellenbach.
Where'd you hear that turd? I haven't heard it, Eric. Oftentimes I see them in the chat say stuff, and then the next day he's starting for somebody. So I didn't see anything.
I have no idea.
In fact, let me check the starters coming up. Tomorrow we got Robbie Ray and Brandon Pfaadt going on the hill. Eric, 8-3 versus 8-5. Pretty close matchup. Another 6:40 start tomorrow.
Oh, a fractured elbow. Oh, he's done.
On a pitcher?
How do you fracture that? What the hell did you do? What did you do? Schwellenbach? You dropping freaking elbows from the top rope, man? You doing a little
word on the street is
Randy?
Word on the street is that Schmitty wants us to go after Marcus Stroman, man.
No. What are you talking about?
We're just throwing shit out there.
Stroman? Oh, my God. Boo must die. What's up? Hey, boyos. How are y'all doing? Or how are you enjoying Devers? I like Devers. Do the Giants have the best 1-2 punch in the cover? Yes, the Giants do have the best 1-2 punch. Yes, 100%. 100%. I like Devers, man. Just give him some time, man. Give him some time. Guys, he just got traded. He was with the Boston Red Sox his entire career. He is now in the most exact opposite place if you could be of Boston, Massachusetts is San Francisco, California. Yes, Sale has a broken ribs. So give him some time. He's going to be okay. He is not the problem. Yes, has his at-bats been kind of ugly? Sure, they have been. But give him some time, man. He's got a back of the baseball card. I have no worries about Devers. Not one bit.
Guys are asking us about a lot of trades in here, Eric. And you know the problem? You can't.
Come on.
You just can't dissect this. Like Cole asks, would you go after young guys, young hitters from the A's? Who knows what?
No, I don't think
they're even going to be available. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't know if they're going to be. Usually young guys aren't available.
No, they're going to get rid of. It's going to be slow. It's very slow. I think the only guys are going to be older, veteran players. A lot of people aren't going to want to take on the contracts unless they're in a real heated race. And I think it's going to be slim pickings to begin with. So I think it's going to be a quiet trade deadline.
I think so. We'll see.
And I think teams are going to make you overpay.
Maybe. We'll see. We're going to see how this all transpires. I think maybe we're going to just see a bunch of moves happen right at the deadline. Where it's just last minute. Oh, this is the best we're going to get. Hey, where the hell? LD, where are you? By the way, I said I was going to take credit. LD, are you out there? What did I do yesterday, Glenn? Do you remember what I did yesterday? And I said, if they win, I'm going to come on here and say it was because of me. Remember? You don't remember.
You blew a fart. Oh, no, you channeled that. Yeah, that's it. You channeled your energies.
Yes. You remember?
There you go.
Yeah, see? Hey, you're welcome. Okay, there we go.
Geez, Skater's saying, stop caring about paying. If it's the right guy, overpay. Well, Jesus, all I had to listen to for 5 months was, we overpaid for Jung Hoo Lee. We overpaid for Jung Hoo Lee. Oh, my God, we overpaid for Jung Hoo Lee. Nobody's ever happy. Then they're like, geez, overpay. Greg, what do you want, man? Eric.
Brooke, what do you think about this? Because remember, at the trade deadline, right?
Kill 'em,
You
Brett.
still, at the end of the trade deadline, you still got 2 more months of baseball. Do you trust Verlander, Birdsong, and Roop to help you get through the rest of the regular season so that you could get into the postseason? Now, once you get into the postseason, we have one of the best 1 and 2 in Webb and Ray. I guarantee it. But do you have a guy that's going to get you through the regular season? I'm not trusting Verlander, Birdsong, and Roop at this time. I don't want a depth starter. You know what I want? There you go. 100%.
Yeah.
I want to get a number 3. I want Webb, Ray, a number 3, Verlander, and then Roop. Move Birdsong to the bullpen. That's my thoughts. Okay. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's what I would like to see. Whether or not that's going to help or happen or not, I don't know. Boost comes in, says Seth Lugo would be a great number 3. I would agree. You know what? Let's do this. Hold on. Yeah, man, I got tools here, man. I got freaking tools. Let's take a gander. Who do we want?
We win a game, and my text. Everybody's in a good mood tonight, Eric.
Well, yeah, winning does that.
The text
Winning
coming in, the emails. Oh my God, the thing doesn't stop.
Hey,
what do we got now?
Hey, winning does miracles. All right, listen.
So while you're doing that, Eric, would you overpay? The right deal. Would you overpay?
For what? It depends on who it is, man. Right? Depends on who it is.
To get a deal done, it's 5 minutes to trade down. You got, oh my God, we haven't done anything. Do you overpay, or do you face the firing squad and say, "Well, we tried again"?
Tell you what, I'm telling you, it's all going to be dependent on who you. If it's someone that is going to be significant, yes.
Okay, here's the question.
I'll tell you why.
If you get a player who you think is going to help right away this year, you only got him is this
as a rental?
really in a position to get a guy for 3 or 4 months, the rental player, or are you going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Add to the roster and look ahead.
This is my thought process, and again, this is just me. At the trade deadline, you're trying to improve your roster to finish out the rest of the season and go for that playoff run. You are getting the pieces you need that you think you need to go and get into the playoffs and make a deep run. Right? It's not necessarily for the future, but could it be? Yeah. Look what the Giants did with Devers. Look, now the Devers was an aberration. That was the exception, not the norm. Right. The Giants not only got a guy good for this year, but for the next 8 years. It just fell in their lap. And they took advantage of it. So, hey, that's something that's totally different. But yeah, if it's going to be a guy and it's going to make you serious contenders, hey, go for it, man. Because you don't know what tomorrow brings, right, Glenn? Because next year maybe Ray and Webb suck. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's take a look at this. Hold on, I got 3 guys.
Alcantara, I think. You know who I think is going to be red hot at the trade deadline, Eric? Is the San Diego Padres.
Think so?
There's teams got to bolster their lineup, make a run. And they're right there. They're right there. They're as right there as we are, Eric. I think they're going to go all in. They always do. I think never underestimate their general manager down the stretch.
I hear you. No, I hear what you're talking about there. Hold on. Let me see.
Good GM. And I'm only negative on our moves because like you just said, the Devers move, Eric, that was like a 1 in a million. It happened. It became available. It was it was a deal of circumstance. That nothing more. It was a circumstantial deal. It was. They wanted him. It just worked out. But I still haven't seen. It's been a long time, Eric, since I've seen this organization pull off deals. So until I start to see them, I'm holding the status quo.
Okay, that's fair. There's what you just said made absolute sense. All right, let's bring up the 3 guys I got loaded here in the hopper. All starting pitchers.
Oh, we're playing that game again. All right.
All starting pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy on the far left is dog shit. Okay. Guy in the middle, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Excuse me.
Actually, pretty damn awesome. Guy in the middle. Guy on the right, not too shabby. All right. Here we go. So games 16, 15, 14. Okay. Innings pitched 80, 88, 71. Okay. ERA. I don't care about win-loss. You know me. ERA 6.9, so almost 7, 2.7, and a 3.4. ERA plus takes in consideration the ballpark. 100 being average. 62, 151, and 127. Strikeouts 63, 76, 75. Strikeout percentage 17%, 21%, 25%. Walks. Well, let's do walk percentage. Guy on the left, almost 10%, 9.5%. The guy in the middle, 8%. Guy on the far right, 10%. Which guy would you like? And just so you know, because everyone's saying the guy on the left is...
I want Alcantara on the left. I want him.
Now, here's the thing. The thing about Sandy Alcantara, that's a right move for the simple fact that you're buying him low. Mm-hmm. You're buying him low for the simple fact that the guy is going to be better next year. The guy is going to be better next year.
But then again, Eric, okay, you're answering some questions, or maybe you're creating more. Again, are you going in for this year? What is their strategy? Do they go, we could have had him, but we got to win this year? I still think everyone is kidding themselves when we use this term. Oh, we're in it to win it this year. They ain't winning the World Series this year, Eric. I don't care what you say. They're not, don't matter what we trade for. We're not winning the World Series this year, Eric.
Correct.
We're not winning it. So wouldn't it be smarter to admit the defeat now and I still say that they'll miss the boat if they don't build for the future. And what a bright future it's turning out to be, Eric. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Do you also agree a lot of people are getting caught up in this, holy shit, we're going to trade, we're going to win the World Series this year? I think two people are getting a little, again, I think it's the 8-1 start that created this whole mess, Eric.
Yeah. There's still some lingering. Yeah, there is.
We're only 5 games. Here's 500, Eric.
Here's the thing. And here's the crux of everything. Are the lineup, we'll talk about the lineup. Is the lineup playing up to expectation? Not exceeding, but are they playing up to expectations?
I think so.
They're not. They're not playing up to expectations. No. Because
we've answered that already. Adames is doing what Adames.
No, Adames is performing below expectations.
Oh, expectations.
Bailey, yeah.
Bailey, we all have expectations, but I think this team is doing what they're. I think 500.
I think they're playing below expectations. And if they were playing at expectations, I think, well, you know what? I think the Giants have a little bit more. I'm talking about the lineup. Now, the same could be true for the pitching. Are they playing above expectations? We could say yes, they are. So, hey, you cross out one and you have another. So, I mean, it's baseball. You just never know once the 162 is complete, then you got the full picture of what the player did. Because right now we've gone halfway through. There's another half of baseball to go. Right?
Same question, Eric. Mike O, and then you can take it as well. Mike O says, let's bring this one up. I got to bring it up. Mike O says, just compete and get into the playoffs. So, Mike, to what end do you trade, try to get in and win right away? When we're probably going to get in and we're not good. I mean, we'll be lucky to win a round. So, Eric, to what end? I just don't know where this is going. I don't know. Again, you're talking expectations. Don't set too high a bar or too high expectations in this trade deadline thinking we're going to win a World Series. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And you'd be the first one. I know. I don't know exactly when, but I've heard you say it. You don't want this team. You don't want the team to make the playoffs if we got a first round. You said, I believe, what is the use of doing that? You said in the offseason. What's the use of getting in and you got in the first round? Like, you were in it, you wanted to build for the future.
I want them to be trying for the division. Is it realistic? Maybe not.
Oh,
Maybe
this
not.
year? Oh, it's already out of.
Maybe not. But you never know. You never know. Look what's going on with the New York Mets. Look what's going on. Who expected them to absolutely dude, they're playing worse than freaking San Francisco Giants. They're playing worse than the San Francisco Giants. We'll have to take a look and see what they're doing, but it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
We're not going to win a pennant this year, Eric.
You never know. You never know. I say probably not, but you never know. All right, here, let's bring up the guys. Here's the guys. Look at that. Sandy Alcantara, Seth Lugo, and Edward Cabrera. Those are the guys that I got in there. Seth Lugo.
All three are decent picks, but I think Alcantara is a future piece.
And the thing is yeah, I mean, you got a lot more controllability. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants do as far as just an arm.
I'm just fearful. I have a deep fear, Eric, that guys that you endorse, a guy like Matos, we wake up and we hear Matos has been traded for a piece that we're going to lose in November anyway. So, like,
could happen. He could be part of a piece. That is true. Where is the Mets? Where are they at? They're 3-7 in their last 10. Sounds like the Giants.
Would it surprise you? Wow. Here's a question, Eric. Here's a question. The fact that the team is going backwards, and partially because of injuries, but all they're saying is we're going to be very active at the trade deadline.
Yeah, that could, again, you could take that anyway.
They didn't say we're going all in. They could be active dumping Ray and anybody.
I don't think they're going to do that, though. I don't think they're going to get rid of Ray. Look, it would have to be an absolute, utter disaster for them to trade.
I'm writing the time down. This is what I'm keeping. I'm going to be pulling this one up. I'm going to put you on the spot, Eric.
Go for it.
As it stands right now, we're a month away from the trade deadline. The San Francisco Giants have won. Hey, a win is a win. We beat Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We're, I believe, what are we, 46, 41, somewhere around there?
46 and 41.
So we're 5 games over 500.
Yes.
Winning the division.
Yeah, probably out of sight. Probably
not going to happen. No. Do you think it's realistic to think, hey, we make some trades, we're a contender?
Mm-hmm. Think so. As long as you get no more injuries.
Okay. Okay. I just think everybody, dude, I'm the only one here. I'm the only one who's maybe expectations are being met. I told you, 500 team, and oh no, they'll never dip below 10 games. Oh well, maybe not 5 games. You were calling, Eric. We're only 4. If we had lost tonight, we're 3 games away from you having called for the manager's head.
Yeah,
that's 100%. Not winning baseball.
Yeah, oh, I get it. Yeah, they've been underperforming. Period. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe they turn around in a game of baseball. You know that happens. There's times when a team goes into a funk for a week or two. It all depends on how they get back. Now, the Giants have to ride out the storm, right? Because what do they got? They got their arguably 2 of their best hitters at the time when they went down, when Schmidt and Chapman went down. Arguably, they were the best bat in the lineup at the time they went down. And now they're both out. All right. They're going to be coming back soon. Are they going to be back to the level that they were before they went down? I don't know. But if they come back and they're producing, the Giants are going to be in a better position. And then if you add a bat to it, I'm telling you, I think the Giants are in a good position. Now, this is all freaking wizardry.
It's conjecture.
Right? It's all it is. It's all wizardry, man. We don't know. We're just thinking. We're just throwing out ideas. I have no idea. But you think they're going to be? You think they're going to be 500? I think they're going to be above 500.
You grab me a piece of paper towel.
That's it.
The fact that you just said, a bit of a schneid. You say,
it was 100%. I would say even more than Schneid, but yeah, it was
But what
bad.
scares me is you think they're going to turn it around. We're going into a lot of big series there, a lot of big series. And the fact that we just lost to arguably we couldn't beat the 3 worst teams in baseball. I don't think we're going to beat the top 5 teams in baseball now. I just think I think they're showing their colors, Eric. Even getting Chapman back. I mean, Hey, I'm just going to be Mr. Negative. That's it. I'm just calling. You know what? I have always done it. And that's the one thing about doing the show with you, Eric. You do it. I do it. Chat does it. Now, unlike radio, unlike, the mainstream, just call it like we feel it is. And this is how I feel it is. I don't think we're as good as people think we are.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Don Michio! I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Don?
Eric thinks we're underachieving. You think
I think we're underachieving. I think we're underachieving. But I think we're also overachieving with the pitching staff. So
I can agree with you to that. You know what? You make a good point. We didn't think this pitching staff would be the 1-2 punch anyway. I think I'm being let down to a degree in some of the young pitching. I wanted a little more.
Yeah, I wanted to see a little bit more, and I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. And I'm glad that they traded Harrison to go get Devers.
That was the Achilles heel early, man. And now, jeez.
Don says with the Muncy injury, Dodgers will now add Arenado. No, the Padres are in it, man. They're tied for the 3rd spot in the wild card. They're not going to sell. Look, unless something happens in the next 4 weeks, St. Louis is not going to sell. Well, I wouldn't think so.
You can't be a legitimate Giant fan and say, we're going to make all these deals and Padres are going to trade everybody. We're in the same boat.
Yeah, I know. Look, St. Louis, they're in it. Look, why would they piss off their fan base if they're in it and then make a trade at this, especially with the Dodgers?
Yes, absolutely.
Come on, man. There's no way.
Absolutely, Eric.
No way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Boo must die. Julio Urias will likely be reinstated. Pass.
And to be honest with you, Eric, to me, to me anyway, I feel like the Padres, they make a few deals. I think there's a little more meat in the bone in that organization now with the guys that they have. I like their lineup. And if they added pieces, to me, that's the team you should be scared of is the Padres. And the fact that there's a track record for a young general manager over there who's not afraid to make big deals.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, Padres are always a wild card, aren't they? Always a wild card.
They're a wild card, and they're always in search of the wild card.
Yeah.
Until there's a rumble. So you never know.
Until there's a rumble. Where are they? Hold on, let me look at the standings real quick. Padres, they've lost one. They're 5-5 in their last 10.
Excuse me.
They're not playing all that great at baseball either. They're only 5 games above 500. But here we go. Let's look at this.
Maybe it's the teams that make the best deals.
Here we go.
Come out of this.
Here we go. Look at this.
Never underestimate the Dodgers, though.
Or the Giants 46-41. We can't sit here and say the sky is falling, but then on the same token say the Padres are pretty decent. We can't. They're the same.
And vice versa.
Right.
And vice versa. When guys are saying, we can bring in all these players, and the Padres are going to sell. Like, it can't be both. We're 2 teams. We're neck and neck. It's a neck and neck race there. Look at the record.
Yeah, almost identical. Almost identical. So you got to be careful. We can't. And the reason why is, look, we're San Francisco Giants fans. Most of us here in the chat are San Francisco Giants fans. So we see our team daily. We see warts and all. We see the team, right? But when we look at other teams, sometimes you get a little bit envious. They got Tatis, they got Machado, they got this, they got that, right?
Nice center
field. They got Morel. So you think, they're much better. Well, look what the record shows. Pretty damn even.
Yeah. Do us a favor, Eric, while you got that there. Bring up I'm more interested, in fact, if you don't mind, I'm more interested in the wild card race. That is what interests me.
That's where we are. Mets hanging on to the number 1.
Look at that race, man.
Then the Brewers, then the Padres, Cardinals, Giants, Reds, Diamondbacks, Braves.
So what is it this year? The top 4 get in? Or the
Three.
top 3? So it's still the top. You got the tie between the Padres and the Cardinals right there. So yeah, look at the race even behind us. You can't count out Arizona.
Can't count out Cincinnati.
No. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It's not going to be easy, man.
So there's, look at that. There's 1. Well, if you include the ones ahead of us, Mets, Brewers, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams fighting for 3 spots, Eric. More are going to lose out than make it.
And this is the thing, is what are these teams going to do, or where will they be, I should say, in the next 4 weeks? Some of them may be falling off. Some of them may not.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun, man. I love this time of the year. Look, it's right, it's the same time as in the off season. Christmas comes twice in baseball season. The trade deadline, if you're in it. If you're not in it, well, then it's not so much Christmas time. And then the off season to see what your team's going to do.
Bring that back up again. You made a very good point, Eric, earlier. When you're not,
I have my moments.
Unless you watch the, look at that. When you're not in the heat of, like, we got a lot of guys here, they watch the Giants. A lot of guys in the chat love their Giants, and I'm sure a lot of them don't have him. I'm lucky I've got the MLB package. I think you do as well. Our buddy Dan over in his network, he has it. So I watch a lot of baseball. There's nothing better than a game at 11, a getaway day, a game at 11, a game at 2, a game at 4, a game at 6, a game at 8. I like baseball for like 14 hours, Eric. I love it. So I get a grip on some of the other teams. Now, I've seen people, making their comments on, oh my God, the Mets are out of it. Oh, they're all hurt. It's a disaster. Eric, they're 49-38 holding the first wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back up to the standings, if you will. And I know that you have heard the guys if you bring up the National League West.
Oh, you want to go back to the regular standings? Got it. Okay.
Before I close, just want to make a point. I have heard Giants fans talking about the sky is falling on the Dodgers. How bad it is. And they got no pitching. It's worse than life. Eric, they're 55-32.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already slowly built the 8.5, 9-game lead, and they're running away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful throwing around, comments on other teams. Because to say the LA Dodgers are struggling, a bit of an understatement in the opposite direction. 55-32. They're playing 6:35 ball, Eric.
They are.
They're 32-14 at home.
They're playing really good baseball. But that's not to say in the next 3 months that they have a period where they start having issues. It could happen, right? Just because they're doing that now. Just like how we said the Giants, right? The Giants could either maintain what they're doing, they could play above, or they could play below. Same thing with the Dodgers. Just because that's where they're at right now does not mean that they're going to maintain that for the next 3 months. Look, they probably are because they're built very well, but there's also a chance that they fall flat on their face. It could happen.
I hope I'm wrong, but you heard it here tonight, guys, on Giant Sports Talk Live. Eric says, a couple of nice trades. We're in the postseason. I said we're not going to make the postseason.
Yep, I think
Eric's leaning one way.
Yep,
I'm leaning the other.
That's fine, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just our ideas of where we think the team's going to go.
I think they have some nice pieces for the future, Eric. This team you think they're good this year? I think we're finally on the upswing. I don't want to blow it all this year and mess this up.
I don't think there's anything they could blow, though, right? I don't think there is, because who would be coming up next year?
Like I said to you, Eric, if we make listen to me, if the trade does this not scare you at all? If the trade deadline hits upon us and they clean us out, if we wrap up the trade deadline show and Matos is gone, mm-hmm. 2 pitchers from the minor leagues are gone. Hell, throw in Luciano's gone. And then we're September 1st, Eric, and you go, geez, we got 3 more injuries. Who are we calling up? You cannot decimate. You can't go on. The cupboard can't be bare to go all in.
And then look, yes, to a certain extent, I get what you're saying about the injuries, but are we going to be missing Luciano?
Well, who the hell are you going to call up?
It ain't going to be Luciano.
I'd rather be calling up Luciano or Mato. You're going to be calling up guys that are double A. The guys are going to fill the spots from double A. There's going to be a shift in the organization. So your Sacramento club's going to get weak, Eric. And then
you know what?
The guys you're going to be calling on.
Here we go. Look at this. You got Bryce Eldridge, Carson Wisenhunt, Osar De Jesus Gonzalez, Johnny Level, Dakota Jordan, Joe Whitman, Rainer Arias, Bo Davidson, Trevor McDonald, and Trent Harris. That's your top 10. Okay, let's go with this. Let's just look at the top 10. Top 10. Is there anybody that is untouchable on that top 10? Who would you consider untouchable?
Eldridge and Wisenhunt. And maybe Gonzalez, too. I think maybe they'll keep...
The top three. The top three.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I would not, but to be honest with you, with Wisenhunt, I would say he's not untouchable. For me, he's not untouchable.
You know who's very touchable? Mason Black. Put a calls. Get rid of him.
Yeah. So you got Johnny Level, Dakota Jordan, Joe Whitman, right? Rainer Arias, Bo Davidson, Trevor McDonald, and Trent Harris. Okay. Now, when you're going to go make trades, this is what they're going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at each club's top 30. And you're going to look, if it's going to be a big trade, it's going to involve the top 10 of your top 30, so to speak. So you got Joe Whitman. He could maybe he does something. You don't think any teams? No. No one's calling for Turd. That's not how it works, Turd. That's not how it works. The Giants, if they're interested in a player, they will reach out to the club. And then the club is going to say, okay, let's see what you got in your top 30. And then they're going to peruse the top 30. And they're going to say, how about this guy, and this guy? Or they say, no, thanks. There's going to be back and forth, right? It's the team that has the player that's going to be sold doesn't reach out to the team that is trying to buy. It's the other way around. I'm telling you.
Listen, and in respect to Turd, that may be a problem, Eric. Who do we got? Who do we have to deal? Other teams are going to have a strong option.
Carson Wisenhunt will get you something. Johnny Level will get you something. Dakota Jordan has been crushing it in A.
I'm sure there are going to be other organizations.
Yeah, sure.
They're going to be deeper and have more to offer. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe not. That's the thing. You just don't know. Last year during the trade deadline, I think how many guys were traded from the top 100? In last year's trade deadline, I'm not talking about each club's top 130. I'm talking a big pipeline, MLB Pipeline's top 100. How many guys were traded from the top 100? I don't think there was even 5. I don't think there was even 3 that were traded from the top 100. So that tells me when there's trades being done, they're not necessarily getting the top guy. They're just not. They're going to look at the respective clubs' top 30, and if they could come to an agreement, they'll come to an agreement. So
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with Joe Schmo. Other teams are going to, with that, if they're going to deal, they're going to look for a top 25 guy. And maybe you can get rid of Yaz. Who the hell knows? But there's one other comment. Barry Bonds. You know what I say to that? Thank God. Dominic Smith and Daniel Johnson would be the first guys I'd get rid of.
Smith's been doing okay at first base. He's got a good glove, but
again.
I know.
Again.
And you know what he is, though? Is he a long-term? He's not long-term.
Don't think your daughter's grade 4 art project is a Picasso. There's big difference, Eric.
He is a Band-Aid.
He's a
Band-Aid. We all know that.
Plugging a gap. So don't come in and say, oh my God, well, they're not homegrown. Well, thank God. It would tell us a lot about our organization if that was the crap we had. I don't think those guys are going to be around much longer. If we make deals, Eric, these are the players that he's mentioned, they're going to fall by the wayside. Hopefully. You got to hope that those guys aren't in the plan in the fall, because if they are, it'll mean that the front office didn't get the job done.
That's fair.
It's my opinion.
That's fair.
If we're doing the show in September and I'm talking about, we got Dominic starting and Daniel on the same night, Eric, means this team didn't get better.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of him. He was the number 1 international prospect last year.
I got a few of his cards. He's good.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a good one. He's right up there with Joe Sarr for the Giants that we got this year. So, yeah, for me, I would not touch my untouchables is Eldridge and De Jesus. Everyone else, again, dependent on who you get back. Dependent. I'm not trying to sound callous. I'm not trying to sound uncaring. No, I'm just saying, if it means it's going to improve your club, well, sometimes as we always say, right, Glenn, if you want to get somebody, you have to give up somebody. If it's a trade, or if it's a free agent, you got to pay the man.
And yeah, Dominic Smith's a decent player.
He's decent. Yeah, he's decent.
On like Miami, not with us.
It's not long term. It just isn't.
You know, he should be a nice player on the White Sox, Eric. I mean, you want to get me on board? We're going to make the postseason. Then you can't talk. Get me on board talking about Dominic Smith.
Correct.
Okay, you're trying to win me over. Don't throw Dominic Smith's a decent player. He may be decent.
No, he's decent for what he has.
We don't have a decent chance of making the postseason.
Let's say he's decent for the job that he is doing, right? Which is he's just covering because they don't have a first baseman. That's the problem. They don't have a first baseman. And I think maybe that's what they do at the trade deadline, Glenn. Maybe they go out there and get a first baseman. Maybe
they go in and get a rental.
Yeah, it's possible.
Who would be available? Let me look at that.
O'Hearn. Ryan O'Hearn. That's the guy that everyone's talking about. Maybe he's a guy. I know everyone talks about Josh Naylor.
What do you do with him next year?
Good question. You know what? Maybe you have to have him for another year. Bryce may not be ready next year. Remember, he's on the shelf right now. He may not be ready next year, and that's a very realistic situation. And then you could have him be there next year. You got Ryan O'Hearn for 2 years. Again, he's a free agent, so you'd have to sign him to an extension if he wants to, or sign him as a free agent, whatever. Diamondbacks aren't giving up Josh Naylor unless they're completely if they shit the bed. Yes, correct.
You know, Cole, I know what you're saying, but it really, aren't you glad you got Dominic over Wade? You know, 6 and 1.
Setting the bar low. The bar's pretty low, right?
The
bar's pretty low.
I'm not really buying into that. That didn't get me tingling with anticipation for the future. Nah. Although Wade's hanging on. He's hanging on in L.A. Now, there's a guy who should be retiring. Holy smoke. I would rather have Kevin Pillar than Wade. And Dominic Smith, to be honest with you. Anyway.
Don, Bryce is not going to play in the futures game. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
He's got a bad hamstring. He's not playing. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Carson Wisenhunt will play in the futures game.
And your point? Anything wrong with that, Eric?
I hear you.
Glenn wants the Giants to be like the Dodgers. You're freaking right. I've waited how many years? I waited like a decade, Eric. I waited a decade, and in 2021, they had the smoke and mirrors here. I'm still saying it. And who beat us in the first round, Eric?
Well, because come on. They were pretty damn good, though. So, right? I mean, they're both neck and neck. 106, 107. So, I mean, they're both really good.
Whoa. Everybody was so excited, and that was look at the record and the team we had, and blah, blah, blah. Well, Eric, again.
They were just as good.
Don't let a winning record fool you.
Yeah, I hear you. No, don't get me wrong. They were 1 out away.
Bellinger.
Who announced it?
Gone.
He's injured. He's injured. He's got a hamstring problem. I don't know where you heard that he's announced. They announced that he got selected, but he's not going to play. Where
Dude,
did I see it?
we're less than 2 weeks away. We got the All-Star break coming up. And I heard tonight on the Baltimore game, I was watching to see how Sagano
Didn't they announce who it's going to be?
I was watching the Sagano pitching appearance, which was, don't ever ask me again about trading for Sagano. He was brutal. I think he gave up 5 home runs before they got him out of there. He was terrible, Eric. Brutal. Anyway, they're saying that Ryan O'Hearn is begging Major League Baseball to let him in the All-Star home run derby. He wants to represent Baltimore at the derby.
Interesting.
Let's see. What do you got there?
Injured. 7-day. That's all they have, but it's going to be longer than that. He's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, I heard it was a bad hamstring. He can't be at 7 days.
4 weeks. Out 3 to 4 weeks.
If they bring him back, it'll be, you know what? It'll end up 60 day if they fuck around with it, Eric.
Hold on. Where did I see? Hold on 1 second.
You know who's back next week? You know who's back? Eric, you know who's back this weekend?
Who's back this weekend?
Let me tell you who's back this week. A lot of players coming back from injury, and I'll tell you why I know, because they're on my fantasy league. Did you know, coming this weekend to a ballpark near you, Sacramento A's, Zach Geloff is back.
Oh, is he?
He'll be playing second base. They expect this weekend against the Giants. Ha-Sung Kim is back. I'm really excited to see his numbers at the end of the year and compare them to Willie Adames. That's all. Really want to get him some at-bats, see how he looks. I like what Tampa Bay's doing. Really like what they do. They are loaded for speed, man. Jose Caballero's got 30-some home runs. Stolen bases. Chandler Simpson, he's a demon on the base pass. They are loaded for speed. And Ha-Sung Kim, he can steal bases. And then we got what? Eric, what number leads our team in stolen bases? 11?
I don't think it's even that. I don't think it's even that.
Dude.
All right, here we go.
That's one thing I'd like to trade for. I wish we had a speedster, man.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, we're supposed to have one in grandson of the win, but that really didn't turn out. Fitzgerald really hasn't turned out. Willie Adames was supposed to steal all these bases. Hasn't really turned out. I mean,
he's just stealing some money. That's all.
Here we go. This is from John Shea back on June 24th. Injury news. Giants' number 1 prospect, Bryce Eldridge, right hamstring strain, which the team calls moderate, has him rehabbing the next 3 or 4 weeks in Arizona. Missing the key part of the season. Moderate. It's going to be longer than 3 or 4 weeks. I bet you. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done. Maybe he comes back the last month of baseball. Maybe. If moderate,
so you agree with
hamstring.
You can't push that. You can't push that.
No. When it's a hamstring, you don't want to look. Hamstrings and obliques take forever. Grade 2. Oh yeah, that's at least 6 to 8 weeks at least. It's a shame because I wanted to see him play more in Sacramento. But
Robbie Ray, tomorrow night, 6:40. Eric, we're 5 games over 500. Can we split the series? Your thoughts?
I think so. Hold on, let me look. Really? It's a 6:40 game tomorrow?
Yeah, late start.
Wow. Oh, you know why? Because they're just flying back to freaking.
It's an hour flight.
What's Brandon Fott? What's his Oh, here we go. He's 8-5 with a 5.3 ERA. So
it's doable.
Okay, here we go.
Doable, but
we've said this before. Giants don't do well against pitchers who have 5 ERAs. They don't.
You said it.
Today, Merrill Kelly had a 3-point something, right?
We had 10 hits.
It's not going to be. Look, I'm going to tell you one thing about the Diamondbacks. They can hit the ball. They can hit the ball. So
nothing statistical about this team ever makes sense. Do you realize we won tonight, Eric, and they had less? We won, and they had more hits than we did. I'll never understand baseball.
Weird.
But but listen, This giving up pass balls is becoming habitual. Maybe we should talk more about that coming up in a future show. I'm getting worried about our catching.
Me too. That has to be addressed.
Last night we addressed it a bit, and
I was pissed.
what did you see again tonight?
Almost. He dropped that ball in the freaking 10th inning.
Yep.
Real quick, I don't like seeing the Blacks on the road. Do you? I don't care for it. That should stay home, man.
I like. You know what? If you're going to do your Tuesday night home do your Tuesday night, keep it the creams and the grays, Eric. Creams and grays. Tradition.
Creams and grays. And then, Friday night orange, Saturday night blacks, Tuesday night, I can't stand, but yeah.
Yeah. Keep it tradition. There's a reason why the Yankees only have pinstripes.
Yep, exactly. Right. Yes, the 13th pick.
Okay, I'm going to get chicken noodle soup. I'm not feeling good.
Hey! Oh, are you? Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. No. Not good. All right, guys. Hey, we'll be back here again around the same time, 9:30, unless the game went long today, so we didn't come on till late. So look for us between 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there, and we'll be back at it. Let's go out there and get the split. Look, I'm gonna keep it on the down low. It worked yesterday.
Hey, down 2-0 a split would be just what the doctor ordered heading over to Sacramento.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. We will be back here on tomorrow night, same time.
Okay, see you then.
Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.